Welcome to Profit Doctor TV. This is John Patrick, your Profit Doctor. Today's letter comes from Tucson, Arizona, and it reads, Dear Your Profit Doctor, I've heard different takes as to when I should use a collection agency to collect past due accounts. The more I hear, the more confused I become. Can you help me determine what is folklore and what is accurate information? Signed, Ida Be Confused. Well, Ida, that's a great question, and frankly, you almost have to understand the differences between collection agencies and collection services in order to truly understand the answer. The U.S. Department of Commerce did a study which clearly shows the older an account gets, the harder it is to collect, be it in-house or be it through a third party. The dynamic, though, is because a conventional collection agency typically charges between 33 and 50% in commissions. They tend to deal with a customer on perhaps a more stringent level because of the fact that they want to get paid and move on. And the fact that a lot of clients are concerned about relationships with the customer and reputation perhaps in the area, that a conventional agency becomes a difficult choice. And so a lot of business owners will wait until they feel there's really no other resort but to do that. And at that point in time, they'll just look at it as, well, it's lost anyway, so hey, if you can collect anything, at least I get some money back. The problem, though, in doing that is by the time a conventional agency would typically be given the account to collect, the likelihood is so small that as a result, there's a lot of frustration on the part of the client, and the fact the results just aren't really that great. On the other hand, there are alternatives. A flat fee collection agency typically charges a smaller fee. However, they get paid whether or not the account's collected, but typically it's on a very small level, $10, $12, $15 per account. Doesn't normally even matter what the balance is. So obviously, if you're looking at an account that could be $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, the risk of having to pay a small $10, $15 fee would more than offset the fact that you would typically give up what could be hundreds or thousands of dollars if that were collected. Now, the advantage to that is that because you're looking at a smaller amount, you're more apt to give that account over or turn that account over to an agency much sooner. And the way money works, the odds are stacked in favor of you as the client versus the debtor. Typically an agency that does that, because they're dealing with an account much sooner in the process, also is able to deal much more diplomatically with the debtor. And you know, the old adage of you get more with honey than you do with vinegar certainly applies here. If you can catch someone early enough in the process and deal with them fairly and professionally, you can often get the money and do it in a way it doesn't cost you the big percentages. According to that study I mentioned at the U.S. Department of Commerce, when an account becomes 90 days past due, the odds of you getting your money back start to decrease 0.5% a day. So if you wait until 6 months, which is fairly typical for a lot of companies to wait to, the likelihood is half that you would get your money as compared to you're having turned it over at 90 days. So something to think about. There are lots of pieces to that. I would certainly welcome an opportunity to explain that in more detail. You can do that, and you can reach out to me through yourprofitdoctor.com. You can email me at john.patrick@transworldsystems, or you can just simply give me a quick phone call at area code 727-789-1279. I'd be happy to explain that in a little more detail. But thank you so much for sharing that. That's a real world concern, and hopefully that'll help you make some decisions that will ultimately add some money to your bottom line cash flow and profit. So until next time, take 2 doses of cash flow and call me in the morning.